Hello, my name is Nicole van Vuuren. Today I will be presenting Assignment 2 from EDC 1200, Self-Education Society. The issue that I will be talking about today and using as a basis for the development of a teaching curriculum is child gender role stereotyping. An article cited on BNet Australia explains the issue of children gender role stereotyping in society, at home by parents and reinforced by other elements in the environment, for example, a childcare setting. The article, written by Susan D. Witt, claims that exposure to certain clothes, toys, activities, expectations, and even colours can have an effect on a child's gender roles. She then goes on to say that children learn at a very young age what it means to be a boy or to be a girl in our society. According to John Austin in Lecture 6, difference is a separate points of location on the same line of axis, and is not necessarily meaning other. I see the issue of gender role stereotyping touching on the notions of difference in the Australian context because there is a difference between being a male or a female on the same line of axis, that being gender. These differences can be biological traits and personality traits and can be affected by cultural and social factors. Australia is a country looked upon as being filled with opportunities, differences and diversity. This issue is relevant to the national identity of Australia because it is about certain differences between two groups of people, males and females. The issue of gender role stereotyping has been in Australia for many years now. As mentioned above, being different does not mean being the other. Therefore, although Australia has provided opportunities for gender equality, more needs to be done to change the perspective of citizens in the nation on how they view differences between genders and the gender role stereotypes that are controlled by these differences. There are many different ways to address, educate and eliminate the societal issues of child gender role stereotyping within childcare centres that care for children between the ages of 3 and 5. As an educator, I will use the issue of gender and child gender role stereotyping in my curriculum by the environment I create in the room, the activities that are available during free time play, the group structured activities and the reading books available within the centre. Firstly, I would like to talk about creating a certain environment in the room that allows for gender equality and refuses the societal norms of child gender role stereotypes. By providing different opportunities and experiences for the young children to learn about and participate in things outside of their gender norms, children will be able to witness and feel firsthand that they do not have to do things or like things based on their gender and what society expects them to do or like. Essentially, teaching and encouraging children that they can become whoever they want to be in all aspects of their life and facilitating an environment where there is no pressure or need for them to conform is one way that the issue of child gender role stereotyping can be incorporated into a childcare centre's curriculum. Secondly, I will elaborate on how to address the issue of child gender role stereotyping and how to provide opportunities for children to be different by the use of group structured activities. Through children taking part in certain group activities, they can be made to think if this is an activity they enjoy, and therefore it may become a hobby interest or a career dream. The group structured activities that I'm referring to is the whole group discussions in the childcare centre. The use of the whole group discussions can be a way to talk with all the children about the issues of differences between girls and boys and child gender role stereotyping. Thirdly, a direct way that young children experience gender role stereotyping is through activities that are available to them during free time play. Many of these typical activities include home corner, dress-ups, block building, construction toys, craft tables, and reading area. The area in a child's life that is influenced by free time play is their future hobbies, career dreams, and their appearance. As a way to address the issue of child gender role stereotyping and teach that it is acceptable to go against the norms that I have just mentioned, educators should provide many different types of activities for the children to choose. In addition to this, educators should encourage children to play at all the different types of activities in order for them to figure out what they like or don't like and what they are good at and what they need to improve on. In addition to this, children will be able to learn that there is a difference between boys and girls biologically, but there is no difference between the activities. All activities should be gender neutral rather than gender specific. Lastly, there is a lot of emphasis put on the amount of time reading within a childcare centre. Although children between the age of 3 and 5 cannot read by themselves as yet, they can still develop mentally through stories being read to them, making up their own stories using their imagination, and looking at the pictures. There is a wide variety of different topics and stories that are written in about children's books. The stories and topics that are covered in children's books that I want to expand on is the idea of a child's future dreams and career. Through books such as I Want to Be by Tony Ross and If I Could Work by Terence Backer and Chris Wynn, children are invited and provoked to think about what they want to be. In addition to this, books such as Tom's Hammer by Barbara Hill and Nesta Nurse by Nick Sherratt give children an awareness of what is expected of them to become based solely on their gender. To eliminate this issue within a childcare centre, staff should monitor the books that are allowed in the centre, favouring books that encourage gender equality and rejecting books that are based upon gender role stereotypes. By putting in place the things I have mentioned throughout this presentation, young children will have an understanding that there is a difference between being a boy and a girl, yet this biological trait is not the single factor that determines their appearance, favourite things to do, future dreams and their jobs, or that of others. Cited in Lecture 1, Weeks 1999, claims that identity is about belonging, about what you have in common with some people and what differentiates you from others. The issue of child gender role stereotyping can be addressed from the perspective of individual identities as it is to do with a person's biological belonging to one group of people, either male or female. Furthermore, an individual's identity is affected by this idea as it forms who they are to become in the future. In conclusion, education of this issue will have a positive impact on the futures of young children within the childcare centres, the surrounding communities and the nation of Australia. Thank you.